What's up, guys? Um, you know what? I'm not even going to address this problem we've got going on. What's up, my friends? Welcome back. It's been quite a while. I don't know if this is getting a thing for me that I kind of just disappear for a couple of months and then magically reappear in what seems to be a new setup. This isn't even the finished setup. This is just temporary because some of you might know that I've been building a new house with my wife, and I have gotten this little space for myself on the attic, but eventually we will be building out this attic into rooms for my two kids, and then I will have to move my entire setup downstairs in what is now their room but will eventually be my office. So welcome to the new temporary setup, the Cave 3.0. I will give you guys a tour, but for now let's just do what we always do and tie out some flies and have a good time. So I hope you have your rum or your beer or your beverage ready. Now the vise is in front of me. It used to be next to me, but now it's in front of me. So let's jump right down to it here and crank out this little stickleback. So the hook in the vise is the usual stuff. If you're new here, welcome. We've actually crossed the 13,000 subscribers mark, which is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for that. That means there must be some new guys out there that haven't got any new content. This is the first new video, so welcome and thanks for tuning in. So, hook in the vise is from Eric's Hooks as usual, because that's my jam. This one is the NS122 and it is a size 8, so it's a fairly small one. I want to start off with a little bit of craft fur, and this is actually a piece of an old jacket I had lying around, you know. So this is kind of from the hoodie on that jacket. I know. So, but you can use craft fur if you haven't got an old hoodie lying around. The length, I want kind of almost double the length of the hook shank. So let's get that down onto the hook here on the top. Tie that down. Nice and tight. Trim off the excess there. Just tie it down on top of that. Just get some dubbing on that naked shank there. In this case it is Senio's laser dub in dark tan. And all the old guys who have been watching for a long time know that I like to dub kind of like the opposite way around. So what that means is I like to lay down a layer of dubbing in front here, tie all the way back, and then go over that again with another layer of dubbing. And the reason for that is when you brush out your fly afterwards, there's nothing worse than tying thread showing through if you haven't put on enough dubbing. So I like to always put on a small amount on the shank there just to keep things nice and tidy. So I kind of want to make a little special trick or little thing. I want to be using these new stickleback heads from Pro Sport Fisher. I think they're really cool. But just to place them on the hook like this would, I don't know, you could guess you have to play around with it a little bit, but the inspiration for this fly actually came from an old pattern called Leslie's Lure, and that was basically just a hook like this with a tail and a feather on it, just like this. No eyes, nothing fancy, just a feather like that and a tail. That probably still works wonders, but you guys know me, I like to do my own thing. So the feathers I'm using here are Brahma hen from Whiting Farms. You don't have to use these, you can use any kind of hen, just as long as it is some kind of soft hackle. And you can really go crazy with the colors on this one. Not if you use these heads, but you could just stick on some eyes or don't. So you can really go crazy with the colors here. Let's get a feather on each side here. And this can be a little bit tricky, so just take your time with it. It's looking good. Where are my scissors? There. Trim that off. Get another feather. And it does help to have a rotary vise, but of course any vise will do. So I want this to have the same length as the other one, so I just put on 2 loose wraps there to just to keep it in place. And I kind of want to pull the feather backwards like this till it has the same length as the one on the other side. It's there. To secure that. Cut off the excess there. I need better scissors for this job. Sorry about that, I'm a bit rusty here. Like I said, it's been a while. There we go. So now we have that done. Don't worry about these stray fibers here, we will clean that up with some UV resin in just a bit. So these heads come on these small pieces of paper. They are 3D printed and they do stick a little bit on the back side here, but not enough to stay put on there alone. So you will be needing some super glue to well, not super glue, but UV glue to keep them in place. And that's how they look when you cut one off. So let's get that on there roughly where we want it, and then just get a few turns of tying thread onto there. It stays put. So the way, I don't know if I can show it here, the way they are 3D printed onto here, they are pre-cut but still hanging on to just the tip there, so you will need to cut that off. And that leaves you with this little tip here to tie onto. So same thing for the other side. And it seems that the guys over at Pro really think about everything one or two times, but because there are a bit of adhesive on the back side, as I mentioned, so it really makes it easy to tie these heads on, because they kind of stick to the materials beneath, so you don't have to fill around with things just too much. Which is a really cool detail. So here we go. And the fly is basically done at this point, at least with the tying, so I'll just be making a finish here. Just one, that will be enough, because we will be covering this head here with a thin layer of resin. Like that. So to clean things up before I do anything, I like to put a small drop of resin on my finger. Just kind of work it in here to get these pointy fibers under control. Just hold them up like that, or turn the fly around. And hold them down like that. Set that with your lamp, and they are magically gone. Right. So now let's grab some resin, get that onto the head there. Just cover the whole thing. Just a thin layer here, you don't need a whole lot to keep these in place. Make sure to get something behind them. And then just work your fly around. Until it sets. And again, this really helps to have a rotary vise, so you can keep turning it and the resin will just run into the places and stay even if you turn it like this all the time. Secure that. Go. And there you have a slightly modified version of the Leslie's lure, and I really have high hopes for this one. I haven't fished it yet, but I have really high hopes for it, and I guess if you tie this in all sorts of colors, you can it could imitate a bait fish from just about anywhere. So have a go at it, and thank you guys for hanging in there for so long, and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you do that. Hit the little bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos, which hopefully will be a lot more in this year, when the funky, kind of annoying situation that's been going on kind of loosens its grip on the world. So I don't even want to talk about it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week.